And so we start with sharing. I said you can share, and then the first question that would pop is like, well, how do you do that? How do you share? What do you share? And so after 4 years of making this, I can tell you can share everything. It doesn't matter what it is. In the case of a game development, you can share, concept art. You can share, work in progress models. You can share, first versions of levels. You can share, even pre-versions of scripts. It doesn't matter, right? Fans will like it. They will read it. They will comment on it. They'll get engaged with it. Even if it's bad, they will comment negatively on it, and then you'll know that, well, that was wrong, right? And then you'll fix it. And so everything is work publishing. We have a system within Star Citizen where in the economic model, people can become subscribers to the project, meaning I'll give you $10 a month because I believe in this project. Well, subscribers gain access to something very special. They gain access to a vault. And the vault contains rejected art. So for every spaceship that we build, every environment that we build, we gather rejected art. So art that either Chris or any other creative director said, I don't like this, the wings are too, let's change that. Well, they keep it, right? And they put it in the vault. And then fans of a specific ship can see the evolution of their favorite design. And then for them, that's a super gigantic value because they get to see behind the scenes the thought process that we put in to reach the final ship that they've seen. And so that's the key here, is that think about people want to know how things are made. And they want to understand how you get there. And so the more you can share about it, the best it is. So you look at your team and you say, what my artists are doing is incredible. The way they're building it is crazy. Let's do a feature on it. It could be a quick video, could be a YouTube clip, could be a live stream. Whatever you do, just share it. Just show it to people. One thing, though, that's very important if you're going to attempt this is that your personal touch is important in this process. So this is important because what this means is that you can't farm this out. You can't hire a third-party company and say, okay, you do all the documentary work for me, and then that's it. And then you don't get involved in it, right? You need to be present in this process for this to work because fans want the connection with you or your team. They want to be close to that. And so that's very important. Honesty and through engagement, that's around the same element, but you need to be honest in your process. You need to be honest with your fans. Don't sugarcoat anything. Just be as true as you can and honest, and people will follow, and they'll bring other people in. And so you need to write it. If you have a grand project, you need to find the right balance between the project and the product. And so the project is the open development that you're building, but the product is what you're actually shipping, right? And so you need to find the right balance there to be able to still be able to ship, right? And not just be about the project. And so the right balance changes based on your team and your needs, but keep in mind always to keep a right balance if you decide to do this. And so we've done in Star Citizen many, many things to share, and there is no secret sauce or secret plan, right? When we started this, we did not even know that this was a method, right? And so these are examples of things that we've tried or that we failed at or that we still do that could fuel your ideas on how you can start sharing and start building a community today. So in case of Star Citizen, it started very easily with development updates. And so that's the classic where you have a blog post or whatever and you say, here's what we did, we have a new map and then a screenshot and you talk about it, you talk about that and then you showcase it. Then we went a bit further and we made some design posts which were more in depth about systems and specific areas of the game. We've made live coding sessions, which we still do. We produce a YouTube clip every month, I think at this time, and it's called Bug Smashers. And it literally is, one of our developers is at CIG, not at Turbulent, but at Cloud Imperium, who's making the game, is a very, very talented guy. And basically the show is him just going into the bug tracking system and grabbing a bug. He's like, okay, we're going to fix this one. And then he goes in the game and, the player gets stuck to the floor at this area, and then he goes and he gets stuck, and he's like, all right, let's see how we can fix it. And it's live coding, and he'll fix it. And at the end of the clip, you resolve the ticket and moves on. That show is super popular because fans want to see how stuff is made. And so when they have a bug, especially if you have a popular bug that everybody's been complaining about, that video is going to get multiple views. And that's really good for your engagement. That's what you want. And so in terms of storytelling, because I got to bring the storytelling element to that, one thing that's been very successful for us is lore stories. And so the writer team who've been building this expansive universe have been doing this for a while, is that they've got content series that are purely fictional in lore elements of the game. And so like Spectrum Dispatch is our channel for all lore-related stories. And so they have Clean Shot. I think they have at least 15 different series, which are like mini-series that people can just go and read. So it's pure text, right? But it's all in fiction, in the lore, and then you get to discover a piece of the universe that you're going to be playing in the game before the game's actually done. And so this is I got a quick clip of like a super montage of stuff just to illustrate the things that we do in Star that contribute to open development. And so Around the Verse is a show that we produce every week that's live and that basically talk about the game. It's hosted by developers and fans, and then they talk about the game. 10 for the Chairman is a quick show that's produced with Chris where he grabs forum questions and answers them live directly like this. And so it's like, how many missiles will be there? This is the example of a design post. So in-depth definition of a specific piece of the game. Behind the scenes clip, we'll go actually interview with developers, talk about specific systems, and then even showcase elements that are not released yet. So like the room system video, here's an example. This is a super early gray box, model of a piece of the world. Jump Point is a magazine that's produced every month that basically recaps everything that we produce in video, but in magazine form that players can actually download. These are the lore stories I was telling you about. Every one of those is a full-fledged, like, 3-pager story part of the universe. And so all of these pieces of content, you can see how we map that, but we reuse a lot of stuff between the different types of content that we produce. And so, for example, the Jump Point is basically a big assembly of everything that's been produced and then put in a format that's like a magazine. And then that becomes a collectible. And so at the end of the day, at the end of the year, actually, we produce a hard copy of Jump Point that people can buy. And so that becomes their Bible. You have no idea, like, when I meet fans or at fan events or whatever, I sign so many Jump Points. It's just crazy. Everybody's got it, right? Because it's it becomes their Bible. And so in terms of sharing, whichever way you're going to do it for your project, you got to share your content where you want your community to gather. And that's the second point goes with that, which is consider the platform you communicate on. You're going to notice a lot of people, say, we use a lot of Facebook and we have a lot of Facebook posts, or, we use Twitter, and that's really cool. Like all social media and everything is really good. But do you want your community to gather on Facebook? Is that what you want? When you know that your most precious commodity is that user database. And so consider that, because the strategy that we've used for Star was the inverse. Basically, we built a platform for it, created a home for the community with forums and live chat and all these tools, right? And there's a bunch of free tools you can use today to do that. And then we use social media to promote our content, but to funnel back to us. We want people to come to us, not go elsewhere, right? We don't want to give users to Steam or give users to any other platform. We want people to become Star Citizen fans. And so that's how we've been using social media. That's been very important for us in always building this community. But of course, that doesn't mean that you should not engage there. And so, Reddit is a very, very important media now. And so engaging with your fans there, linking to your content is very important as well. Though Reddit is a double-edged sword, but this is not a social media conference, so I can't really expand on it. But use it, but bring people back to you. In the 4 years of the project, I think the team has changed multiple times. And now we have a pretty gigantic team, like for the amount of content we produce. But the key elements to how to do this is really to be organized. And so you got to have a schedule and stick to it. And so that's a very, very important element, because your fans will respect a rendezvous. So if you say we're going to do a live stream on Twitch every Wednesday and talk about the game or talk about my project, do it at the same time every week and respect that. And people will be there. If you change and I'm an hour late, or I'll do it tomorrow or whatever, then you're going to lose people. You're going to lose traction and momentum. And so engagement leads to momentum, and that's what you want. So stick to that schedule and make it public. Like, tell people when you're going to release stuff. We actually learned this the hard way, because now fans request that the community managers post at the beginning of every week everything they're going to post in the week in advance, so that they can plan ahead. We have fans all over the world, so it's like, Germans versus, West LA people have a huge time zone difference, and so they want to know when stuff's coming out. People will take days off to show or to be there to see the release of content and stuff, and so, yeah, you got to respect that. And so now, like I said, now we have a pretty big team, but at the beginning, this was a team of 2 people doing all of this, and so the key is to scale it, is to get other people involved early on so that they can help produce content for you. And so you get, one developer do a tech piece a month, one artist do a tech piece every 2 months, one writer that's, maybe more common, maybe you can do it every week. And then if you flatten this out, you get a schedule that has releases every 2 to 3 to 4 days, and that's activity, momentum, engagement, and more users. So that's what you want to do. But it's got to be part of your core. You can't half-ass this process. You got to do it for real. If you buy in, you buy in for real.